And now from McAllen City Hall, a meeting of the McAllen City Commission.
Good afternoon, everyone. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. I'll call this meeting to order. It's Monday, January 8th, and this is our first meeting of the year. My name is Omar Quintanilla, and I get to fill in for Mayor Villalobos today. We're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the invocation. If you can please stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please join me in prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, as we start a new year, we pray for your continued guidance on our city, its residents and visitors. Be with our first responders and their duties and responsibilities to keep our city safe. Bless the businesses and commerce in our region that helps provide jobs and that help our economic opportunities to be abundant. I pray for today's meeting that you would give us wisdom to make the best decisions and that you would be honored in all that we do. It's in Christ's name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
We're going into the presentation time. The first is the IFEA and TFEA awards. Who do we have presenting?
Who do we have presenting, Joe? There it is.
Come on, primero nadie.
It's like a bar crawl. Go ahead, Danny, talk to us.
How y'all doing today?
Thank all of your fans.
Good afternoon. For the City of McAllen, the events that we host for our community, for the quality of life that we want to provide for our residents and visitors is so important to us. And to be recognized for the quality of those events is something that we take pride in. And so recently, all of these various City of McAllen departments attended both state and international conferences and competed in those award ceremonies for our events. And so here's a brief recap of the many awards received by the City of McAllen.
It's a banner year as the City of McAllen had another award-winning year for its over 800 events. In October, the 66th Annual International Festival and Events Association Convention, Expo, and Retreat was held in McAllen for the second year in a row. IFEA is an international organization for festival and event planners who host world-class festivals and events around the world. IFEA awarded the City of McAllen's McAllen Holiday Parade, presented by HEB and powered by the Bird Ogden Auto Group, 8 gold, 5 silver, and 5 bronze awards for the 2022 Holiday Parade. It also placed in the top 3 for the Grand Pinnacle, the highest award. And once again, the McAllen Holiday Parade also was named Best Parade in the World in its budget category. The McAllen Convention Center also received recognition by IFEA, including 4 gold, 4 silver, and 2 bronze awards. The City of McAllen's Quinta Mazatlan received 12 gold, 4 silver, and 4 bronze awards. Quinta Mazatlan received gold for Best Community Outreach Program for the Monarch Fest, Best Overall Entertainment Program for Illumina Fest, and Best Children's Program for Youth Photo Contest. IFE awarded its highest honor, the Grand Pinnacle Award, to the McAllen Public Library for the South Texas Book Festival for the second year in a row. Additionally, the library won 4 gold, 7 silver, 5 bronze as well. The City of McAllen is recognized as producing world-class events year after year, which is why it was once again named a World Festival and Event City. In November, the City of McAllen traveled to San Antonio for the annual Texas Festivals and Events Association annual conference. There, the annual McAllen Holiday Parade presented by HEB and powered by the Burt Ogden Auto Group was awarded 15 gold, 8 silver, and 3 bronze awards. The City of McAllen received top honors once again with the Best in Texas Award for the parade. The parade was also named Best Parade in Texas for the 7th year in a row. The McAllen Public Library received 26 awards from TFEA this year, including 13 gold, 10 silver, and 2 bronze awards. The McAllen Public Library also received TFEA's highest honor, Best in Texas Award for the South Texas Book Festival for the 2nd year in a row. TFEA also awarded the City of McAllen's Quinta Mazatlan 13 gold, 5 silver, and 4 bronze awards for their educational, community, and green initiatives. The world-class quality of life in McAllen is in part thanks to the amazing festivals and events produced for its residents, which is keeping the eyes of Texas and the world on McAllen.
Mayor Pro Tem and Commissioners, just want to thank you all for continuing to support our staff and all of the work that they do, making sure that the McAllen brand is out there in front, both at the state level and at the international level. And we certainly, all of our staff takes a lot of pride in what they do. They do this with a lot of passion, and we will continue to make sure that the McAllen brand is the best in the country. Thank you.
Once again, congratulations to the entire team, Mr. Veda and Parks Department, MCN, for all that you do to make our city that much better every single year. And so thank you very much for that. We're going to continue with proclamations. Commissioner Aguirre has one.
Michelle Medina, and whoever she would like to bring up, come up. Yourself. Sure. Can you get a photo with me? Great. Proclamation. State of Texas, County of Hidalgo, and City of McAllen. Whereas Michelle Medina is an occupational therapist and homeschool parent with a passion for helping families connect to nature. And whereas Forest Friends weekly meetups started in 2022 with 6 homeschool families and has grown into an online community of nearly 600 families, and Wild Plus Free RGV is a network connecting nature-oriented families to weekly meetups, educational programs from area nature centers, and local nature advocacy initiatives. And whereas Michelle has continually sought to grow her own understanding to serve the community, she has completed training in multiple nature curriculums, including Project Learning Tree, Project Wild, Growing Up Wild, and in 2023, she joined TCINN and has partnered with local nature and state parks to coordinate low-cost or no-cost educational programs. And whereas through her weekly groups and partnerships, she has helped more than 50 families per week to get out and grow in nature. Her free weekly child-led nature play groups draws in a diverse group of families, participants of Adventure Club, are all ages and come from cities throughout the Rio Grande Valley and Mexico. And whereas as a group leader, she has fostered a welcoming, accessible, bilingual space for all families. Michelle has expanded her volunteer efforts
as a Texas master naturalist. She has educated families at community nature fairs and presented for Easter seals and the McAllen Public Library. And whereas Michelle has become an advocate for the community, meeting and educating city leaders on the benefits of nature play. Now therefore I, Tony Aguirre Jr., City Commissioner of the City of McAllen, by virtue of the authority vested in me and on behalf of the Mayor and City Commission, do hereby proclaim January 8th, 2024 as Nature Play Day. Michelle?
I'm excited to share our story with you today. In December, I received the Individual Champion Award from Texas Children in Nature Network for outstanding community service. My mission began 2 years ago, following the COVID pandemic. It became clear to me that our community needed opportunities to connect and grow. And so I put my knowledge of health promotion, occupational therapy, youth ministry, and parenthood into practice. In 2022, we formed Forest Friends, 6 families regularly meeting outdoors. Later that year, we became Wild Plus Free RGV on Facebook, and now connect so many more families to nature. Along with my family leadership team, including Hema, age 9, Eli, age 6, and Isla, age 3, as well as my husband and parents, I lead a free weekly community play group called Adventure Club. Now, unfortunately, I didn't have enough time to share the video with you, but as part of the award, they prepared a video vignette that really highlights Bill Shoup Park and our beautiful community. So I would like to follow up and share that video with all of you. And unfortunately, I can't share it today. Now, I did want to share a very important initiative, which is a Children's Outdoor Bill of Rights. As city leaders, you have great power to make decisions that impact the environment and infrastructure in which our families grow. Your decisions can improve the lives of thousands of families. I invite you to work with us on a shared community vision statement, a Children's Outdoor Bill of Rights, to guide policies and practices. Cities like Austin and Houston have taken active steps, and a sample Bill of Rights could include things that we take for granted that children used to have access to, but now we have to fight for, like a right to climb a tree, catch a fish, picnic in a park, hike a trail, ride a bike, splash in a creek or river, discover plants and wildlife, play in the sand and mud, chase a firefly, plant a seed and watch it grow, harvest and eat fruits or vegetables. Understanding that research shows that children who learn and play in nature are healthier, happier, and perform better in school. We can help our community be healthier and happier and more connected to the outdoors and each other. In a world that often feels busy, distracting, and isolating, we need more nature play days. Thank you for this proclamation. Childhood isn't gone, it just needs champions.
Congratulations, Michelle Medina, for that great initiative. We're going to continue now with item number 1, which is a public hearing.
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners. Tonight we have 3 items listed under routine. As always, they come with favorable recommendations from Planning and Zoning and had no opposition. They are 2 rezonings and 1 conditional use permit. They can be approved in one motion or discussed separately as desired. They are rezoned from AO to R3T at 7601 North 7th Street. That's the east portion. A rezone from R3A to R3T at 7601 North 7th Street. That's the western portion. And then a conditional use permit for 1 year for a bar, Thirsty Monkey at 3424 North 10th Street.
Any questions, or is there a motion?
Any opposition?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. This is the public hearing section, and so are there any individuals here to speak on this item?
Move to approve one.
Oh,
A,
one second.
Oh, there's one? Yeah. Okay.
No, if you have a comment regarding 1A, you can come to the front.
John Freeman, I live at 7817 North Fifth. I missed everything up till now about this apartments being built. They're right behind my house. And I was just coming to see the status of it and wonder if we can do anything at this point.
If we can have a petition or something, 'cause we don't want
Our
that.
neighbors, we got a hold of everybody. Nobody was aware of this.
Okay, well, did we post it with enough time?
I did post it with enough time to ask the mailers.
Okay.
I think they have a copy.
Yeah, we have the letter.
Okay.
We got it from somebody.
You got the
thing
letter as
is,
well?
Everybody we contacted didn't know about the meeting. Because we were calling to see if they were coming, and they said they had no idea about it. They probably
Okay.
got the same letter, but just threw it away.
Do you have any comments?
No, I have some concerns about it, definitely. An
Concerns?
apartment complex in that
Go
small,
ahead with the concerns.
that small strip of land right behind our house. Right now, there's nothing except the canal and the back of the stores where they're already doing donuts and stuff all the time. And now they want to try and squeeze apartments back there, and I have some concerns about that as far as safety and you know, the state of the neighborhood. They just built that church on the other side at 10th and, 2nd and Trenton. And traffic's already bad there, and now they want to squeeze an apartment building in. And we just wanted to put in our 2 cents about that.
Okay.
Our neighbors I did contact, they said that if there was a petition that we could start, that they would be onto it, but we just don't see it.
Yeah, you would have had to have brought the petition with you or submitted it prior to today's
Yeah.
meeting.
But that's 1A1, right?
And 2.
And
Yeah,
so
it's-
pretty much, you have two things. You live on the east side?
We live right behind the parking lot, like, our
We live on
yard-
5th Street right behind Kohl's. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Okay. So you live on the other side of the canal?
Correct.
But the canal itself, it serves as a buffer. But more than that, I think that you have that you think is gonna be an apartment complex, it's more like townhomes. And townhomes are small homes, like, kinda like.
Like I said, we just got here just in time.
Okay.
We're far behind on this. We just.
Yeah, the
we know what we could do.
R3T calls for townhomes. So townhomes are pretty much houses that are attached to each other, but it's not an apartment complex, like
Oh.
three or four stories, anything like that, no. It's small homes, and they just don't have the little
spacing.
garden space in between. That's it.
Okay.
Townhomes share common walls as opposed to
Yes.
Right,
separate,
I
single-family
understand
homes.
now. We thought it was an apartment complex.
No, it's
No,
not gonna be,
R3T.
no, it's not gonna be an apartment complex.
No.
Don't worry about
Okay.
it.
Well, thanks for hearing us. then.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it. Thank you for coming.
Okay, was there a motion?
Yes, sir.
Second.
And a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
Next item is the conditional use permit for 2 years for an event center at 5245 North 23rd. This property is located on the west side of North 23rd, just north of Senia. It is Zone C3. Adjacent zoning is C3 to the north, east, and south, and then R1 to the west, with some I1 across the street, across 23rd. Surrounding uses include businesses, apartments, single-family homes. The initial conditional use permit was approved in February of 2022 and has been renewed. This time, the applicant wants to continue operating the event center, but has requested 2 years. The item was presented at December 5th Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. There was no opposition, and it was unanimously recommended for 2 years.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Anyone here to speak in favor or against this item? Okay, there's a motion and a second. Any discussion?
No discussion.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes. And next item C, amending the zoning ordinance for the city of McAllen.
So move to
Second.
amend.
There's a motion and a second to amend the zoning ordinance. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
Next item is a variance to the City of McAllen Alcoholic Beverage Code at 624 North McCall. This property is located at the southeast corner of McCall and Hackberry. It is also zoned C3. Adjacent zoning is C3 to the north, south, and west, and then C4 to the east. Surrounding uses include a gas station, a VA clinic, and apartments. The applicant is proposing to operate a liquor store for off-premise consumption only, but the subject property is within 300 feet of a daycare, so a variance to the Alcoholic Beverage Code is required. Staff is recommending approval of the variances. The consumption will be off-premise only, so we're recommending approval.
Anyone here to speak for or against this item?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second for approval of this item. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion
Against.
passes. Okay, there's one against.
Right.
Thank you for that. Now this is the end of the public hearing section. Item number 2 is a consent agenda. Are there any items on the consent agenda that we would want to remove?
2C.
Okay, 2C. Anything else? I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Approve 2A, B, D, and E.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item 2C.
Chief, you want to come up?
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, Commission, Mr. City Manager, the item that you have here before you is requesting authorization to officiate a memorandum of understanding to enhance the training between the City of McAllen Fire Department and the Heroico Cuerpo de Bomberos de la Ciudad de Reynosa. Basically, the McAllen Fire Department and Reynosa first became sister cities back on July 4th of 1992. While we are divided by an international border, we are united by culture, tradition, and history. Looking into the past, the McAllen Fire Department and the Bomberos Reynosa have worked side by side in countless emergencies, from confined space rescues to maquiladora fires, and even during the famous 1967 Pemex explosion. McAllen and Reynosa are two interdependent communities, and our commitment is to strengthen the relationship between fire departments for a safer McAllen and a safer Reynosa. Staff recommends approval of officiating a memorandum of understanding to enhance fire department training between the City of McAllen and the City of Reynosa. Open for any questions.
They coming to McAllen and we're going to train them over here in the city?
So
Or where are we going to?
we're looking at both options right now. We're looking at an option in which, with the help of other departments and our bridge, we're looking at being able to bring them over at least once a year, perform, a day, 2-day training, weekend training, whatever it may be. And we're also looking at the possibility and opportunity to go to their station in the city of Reynosa and provide them with any training that we can provide them. It's not just the training; it's also just helping them and guiding them on the restructuring of their department and how they respond, and just bringing them up to par. I mean, McAllen and Reynosa fire departments, we worked together for many years. There's been a time period in which that kind of stopped and slowed down, but that's something that we definitely want to continue. And like I mentioned on the memo, a safe Reynosa is a safe McAllen and vice versa.
Definitely.
And we want to continue to look at each other as one whole community.
We appreciate it. It is important. It is important to collaboration, especially with our
Yes, sir,
friends
definitely.
and families
Absolutely.
from the south. So pretty good. Thank you so much. Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Thanks.
Just want to say that we've been sister cities for quite some time, and I think we can enhance that relationship, and this is a good way to do it. And so I'll take a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item 3A.
3A is award of contract for the purchase of new current model city vehicles through a cooperative contract pricing.
Mayor Pro Tem, Commissioners, this is the annual purchase of light vehicles for the city of McAllen. The solicitation was for 33 new vehicles, 23 of which are McAllen and 10 are from MPU. Staff solicited formal bids, 3 vendors responded, providing cooperative pricing. 1 vendor was considered non-responsive because he failed to secure the bid bond. Public Works is requesting authorization to award multiple purchase contracts to the lowest responsible bidders as follows. Randall Reed Prestige Ford from Garland, Texas, through a Sheriff Association of Texas Cooperative for items 2 through 6, 9, 10, 14, 16, and 17 for a total of $1,016,270. Selsby Ford for Selsby, Texas, through Tips USA Cooperative for items 8 and 11 for $116,900 for a total purchase price of $1,133,170. For item 16, the apparent low bidder does not meet the gasoline engine specifications in a two-wheel drive. However, they offer an engine for four-wheel drive. This does not negatively impact the overall operation of the vehicle, therefore staff recommends approval. For item 17, it's the award. The apparent low bidder does not meet the diesel engine specs, however, it offers a gasoline. Again, this does not negatively impact the overall operation of the vehicle, therefore staff recommends award of bid. There are no responsive bidders for item 1 and 19. Staff request approval to seek cooperative pricing moving forward. Award of items 2, 8, and 14 are subject to a budget reclassification, and item 6 is subject to budget amendment. Staff recommends approval.
All right, that's a presentation. Any comments, or is there a motion?
This is through the cooperative bid process?
Yes, so we solicited formal bids, and the bidders that responded with cooperative pricing.
Oh, I see.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second to approve staff recommendation. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
3B.
3B is award of contract for the terminal capacity study at the McAllen International Airport.
Mayor Pro Tem and Commissioners, staff recommends approval to award a contract for the terminal capacity study with Short Elliott Hendrickson of Eagan, Minnesota, in the amount of $497,800. It's budgeted $500,000, and the project schedule is estimated at 14 months.
And we went through all of this at budget time in June, July, right?
Yes, sir.
That's the one that we discussed?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's needed. Okay.
This one's when's the last time this one was done? Has this one been done before?
This was done before the original expansion, probably in 2009, 2005, somewhere around there.
Yeah, and it's needed, for all our grants and everything that we prepare, because a lot of the money from the airport aviation money comes from the federal government, so.
There is I guess on Exhibit A, there was a list of about 22 items, but it looks like almost half of those are crossed out. Are they not part of the deliverables or not needed? It was
It just depends if there was overlap in some of the sub-consultants.
Okay, because it was most of them they say drawings.
Yeah, some of them are not.
Runway surface drawings, approach surface profile.
Those are all the, because we're not going to expand on the runway or the airfield. We're not expanding on the airfield. This is more on the facility itself. So a lot of those are not needed as part of the master plan drawing.
Got it.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
Thank you.
4.
4A is providing for budget amendment for fiscal year 23-24 capital projects rollover. Angie, you want to come up? So, as you know, we do this every year, Mayor and Commissioners. All of the capital projects, and we've got dozens of them. In fact, we've got more than 100. Sometimes we finish during a fiscal year. Most of the time, we don't. And that's because these projects are just scheduled in a certain way. Most of them are more than 12 months. So we're not requesting any additional money. We're just moving it over from last fiscal year to this fiscal year.
The revenue adjustment, though, for the bus terminal, what is that exactly?
It's a rollover revenues that were not collected last year. They're moving forward because they're connected to projects.
I got it, okay.
Being rolled over too.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.
Thank you, Angie.
Motion passes. Item
Five A is consideration of a variance request to exceed the maximum 600-foot cul-de-sac length at the proposed Garden Rose subdivision, 1200 East Yuma.
Yes, sir. Garden Rose is a proposed 30-lot private residential development totaling 5 acres. It is zoned R1 and R3T. The property is located along the south side of Yuma, approximately 1,100 feet west of South Jackson. The engineer, on behalf of the owners, requesting a variance to the maximum 600-foot cul-de-sac distance for an interior street. This subdivision is being proposed with one cul-de-sac measuring approximately 800 feet to allow only one entry into the subdivision. For this, they are proposing to do 40 feet of paving on the street for greater fire and public works maneuvering space. The variance was presented at December 5th P&Z meeting where it was unanimously recommended. There are 3 options before you. Staff is recommending option 1, which is approval, as recommended by P&Z.
Any comments, questions?
Looks good.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
So there's a motion and a second to approve option 1, which is the,
Yes.
Okay. All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes. B.
B is consideration of a variance request to the right-of-way dedication requirements on North Bicentennial at 1701 North Gate Lane.
Sir, the Villas at Northgate is a proposed 13-lot private single-family home development located at the southwest corner of Bicentennial and Northgate. The engineer, on behalf of the owners, is requesting a variance to the right-of-way requirements for Bicentennial, which is a high-speed arterial which requires 75 feet of dedication from center line. The engineer is requesting to dedicate right-of-way for 50 feet from center line, with the basis being that further expansion of Bicentennial along this section would affect already developed properties in the area. The development departments reviewed the variance and recommend approval for 50 feet dedication from center line. Variance was presented at December 19th Planning and Zoning Commission, where it was unanimously recommended for approval. Again, 3 options before you. Staff is recommending option 1, approval of the variance.
Okay, it's been recommended by staff and P&Z. Any motions?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
C is consideration of a variance request for number 1, exceed the 1,200-foot block length for block 1. Number 2, to exceed the maximum 600-foot cul-de-sac length and not provide the 40-foot of paving for the interior streets at 13,100 North 38th Street.
Sure. El Dorado at Thousand Oaks 1 through 4 is the second phase of a single-family home and multi-family home development totaling 65.5 acres. It is located at southeast corner of North 38th and 8.5 Mile Road and zoned R1 as well as R3A. The first variance request is to exceed 1,200-foot block length for block 1. It does measure 1,231 feet. We are recommending approval of that one. The second request is to exceed the maximum cul-de-sac length of 600 feet and not provide 40 feet of paving for block 4. Now, block 4 has 2 cul-de-sacs. That's the northwest portion on your map. One measures 830 and the other cul-de-sac is 1,130. The developer is agreeing to the 50 feet of right-of-way requirements, but would like to provide 32 feet of paving back-to-back. Traditionally, when commission has approved cul-de-sac length variances, especially this big, they have been subject to 40 feet of paving to allow for maneuvering space for fire and public works. Development team reviewed both requests and are recommending approval, but with 40 feet of paving for the cul-de-sac. The variance was presented at the November 21st Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. After some discussion, P&Z approved the variances subject to 36 feet of paving on the cul-de-sac. So there are 5 options before you. Option number 1 is 36 feet of paving. That's what P&Z recommends. Option 2 is what staff recommends. That's 40 feet of paving for the cul-de-sac. Option 3 is approval of the variance as requested. So that's 32 feet of paving. And number 4 is disapproval, and 5 is tabling for more information.
How did P&Z get to 36 versus 32?
They kind of wanted to meet staff and the developer halfway.
Is there any benefit to 36 versus 32 in regards to public safety?
There's more space, certainly, but 40 always allows for your 2 traveling lanes plus parking on the side. Once you start going lower than 40, once you get some knuckleheads parking on the side where they're not supposed to, it's going to be really hard for a fire engine to go through. Or once the fire engine goes through, nobody else is going to be able to go out. If you want to talk to the fire chief, he can probably shed some more light on the size of the trucks.
So when it comes to fire department safety and the trucks they're going in, what is the minimum width that we'd look at? Is it 40?
They have used, well, minimum 40 for the whole street is 40 feet, yes, sir. Now, they need usually 20 to 24 to just move, but once you start talking about parking space or parking lanes, that's when it starts getting too tight.
There was, or a subdivision on Yellowhammer, the 3400 to 3600 block of Yellowhammer. It's a new subdivision that was recorded and is now almost built out 2 years ago. I can't recall, it was a similar issue, and there was like a notch built into the street that would allow a fire truck to make it was only, a notch was made on one side of the street.
Yes,
I
sir,
forgot what the name is called.
I know what you're
But it would
talking
allow for like a U-turn to maneuver around.
No, without a cul-de-sac.
Right, and that was the cul-de-sac because it ended in a dead end.
Correct, but it wasn't this long. It's
Oh, it wasn't that long.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yes, okay, that's a totally different, that's a T over here in the back without a cul-de-sac. Now, this has a cul-de-sac, and the norm is 32, so the 36 still.
You mean 40?
It's, well, no. The 36 that they're proposing, okay, that was passed through P&Z, okay, is curb to curb, a paving, okay? There is the easement still at 50 feet and 60 feet. In this case, it's 50 feet, right?
Correct, sir, but those are sidewalk and utilities.
Those sidewalks and everything. So you have 36 feet of paving curb to curb. Okay. And fire trucks and, fire safety is 36 is ample. I mean, it's wide, it's very wide. But you're saying the norm here would have been 40 is what?
When commission has historically approved cul-de-sac length variances, they have come with 40 feet, yes, sir. That's kind of the trade-off. We'll give you more than 600, but 40 feet of paving is what's
But
required.
it's only because there's more than 600 feet of linear feet, right?
Correct.
But in this case, it doesn't make sense. You can't have, a cul-de-sac somewhere in this design, right? What is the total length?
For the one on the north, that west-east, it's about 800, and the north-south one is 1130.
Oh, yeah.
So it's almost double the 600, that's the max.
Okay.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, Commissioners, City Manager. Alfonso Quintanilla, I'm the project engineer from Quintanilla Head and Associates from Edinburgh. I represent Red Rock Real Estate Development Group. Mr. Cruz Cantu, he's not here, but Mr. Manuel Cantu is here. With your permission, I'd like just to add a couple of points. This particular block number 4 encompasses approximately 20 acres in size. As you can see on the plot that is in front of you, we're proposing 30 1/2 acre lots. And that was really the main reason for our request. Like Commissioner Aguirre was mentioning, on single-family lots, normally the streets are 50 feet right away and the streets are 32 feet wide. The issue became here because of the cul-de-sac. But again, the main reason why we are asking this, and obviously planning and zoning work with us to reach a medium, is based on the density. These are going to be large home sites. It's the north part of the development, which is going to abut to 8.5 mile line, which we are dedicating the 100-foot right away, building the entire road ourselves. So we believe the request is reasonable, and we believe that the 36 feet wide is sufficient for the fire trucks to go in and out. Again, the the density is very, very minor, on a 20-acre piece of property.
Thank you for that.
Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
Any comments or questions? Okay, Mr. Fire Chief?
I was gonna ask Chart, thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem, Commission, and so following up on the very same points that were just made a minute ago, yes, being residential, that means that parking is allowed on both sides. As it was mentioned, 32 has been adequate in the past, but that is only in instances in which you have double access. All right, we're able to come in through this side, or we're able to come in through this side. Okay, so in that event, when we get blocked off, that we're allowed to, to come in a different access. And so this is not the situation right now. We're looking at basically almost double the maximum standard allowed of 600. We're looking at almost 1,200 feet on one and 830 on the other. The other thing to consider is that it's not just about being able to drive through. Is also, if we have a working fire, we're going to be laying a supply line. Then, so that supply line, once it's laid on the road, good luck moving it. And so if you only have space between two different vehicles to come in with one truck, and that truck is laying the supply line, nobody else is coming in behind that unit. We're going to be at least 500 feet away. And I'm saying 500 feet because that is the minimum spacing on residential areas for having a hydrant. And so we're facing here a situation, another point that was made a minute ago, was that, yes, this is half-acre lots, and as it was just mentioned, this is going to have pretty large homes. Having pretty large homes, means that we more likely, we have a working fire, having to do a rescue of a second-story house, or whatever the case may be, we need access for the ladder truck. The ladder truck requires a minimum of 19 feet to be able to come in. And so even a 36-foot road with almost double the maximum allowed, with a supply line established, blocking everybody off and not having a second access on the other side, is less than optimum from a life safety, rescue, fire perspective. Again, I know that it has been done in the past on on other roads, but that's under the circumstances on which we have additional routes to be able to come in. And so we're talking about two dead ends, very difficult to get enough resources in there in a timely manner. And like we've said in other cases, not apples to apples, but like we said in other cases, are we going to be able to take care of the fire at one point in time? The answer is yes. The question is, how long is it going to take us to set up and make all these extra concessions to get the staffing and resources necessary at the scene of the fire to effect a rescue if need be? And so that's our standpoint. That is our perspective on this situation. And we leave it up to you to take that into consideration.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Okay, is there a motion?
Well, Chief, so you say 36 is not enough width?
36 being a residential section, that means that we're allowed to have parking on both ends. So that takes away an average of 20 feet. And so out of those 36, you have left ample time for trucks to go in. But if we're going to be setting up a fire operation and you have all this hoses, supply line, ladder trucks, rescue trucks, everything else, you just can't get everything close enough. Or we may get caught up outside of the area by our own supply line that is typically laid by the first or second in arriving unit. So all the other units will get stuck a few hundred, several hundred feet away.
So 36 is fine, but
Insufficient.
yeah.
36, we're taking a chance.
We're taking a chance. There you
And I'll leave it at that.
But unless you have a secondary access.
Oh, yeah, if
And we
this were not dead
then
ends.
you're good.
Oh, yeah, we would be good if this
That-
were not
that's the
dead ends.
problem then, the
That is the
secondary
problem. The
access.
cul-de-sacs, the circumference of the cul-de-sacs, that is perfect, that is outstanding.
Is there any
It's-
secondary access that you might propose?
Thank you, Mr. Gloria. On this particular block, like I said, it's the last block to the north of the proposed development. To the west is the existing vineyards, and because my client here is proposing private streets, this is the way the layout worked out. And like I said again, we could have had 80, 90 lots here, but obviously we're thinking something different. So we were just using common sense to try to work this out.
Yeah, optimize your area.
Mayor Pro Tem, Commissioners, Manuel Cantu, developer for the project. When we came before planning and zoning, obviously this conversation didn't take place, and we were able to negotiate the 36 feet as opposed to 32 and wanting 40. Of course, when these items come up, it's always a worst case scenario, right? But these lots are 100 by 200, even though they're probably going to be good-sized homes. There's going to be a lot of room for driveways. The driveways are going to go way deep. There's probably going to be side entries, rear entries. So the potential for cars to be parked in the street is going to be minimal. It's not like, a 60-foot lot or 55-foot lot or stuff like that where you expect cars to be parked on the street. So the advantage that we have in this development is that. And we just finished a similar development on 29th and 6 1/4 Northwood Trails, which we're presenting phase 2 on that. Very similar, and the houses that are going up, the driveways are deep. There's plenty of parking to the back, and so that's really a big benefit for the idea that there's going to be cars on the street.
What is the width of the streets in Northwood Trails?
36 feet wide.
It's 36 feet. It's a private. It's 20,000, 21 over half-acre lots are 21,000 square feet. So the density is not there. There's no thoroughfare for traffic, and I'm just sorry to say this, but I don't believe that there will be parking in the side of the streets when you have big lots. Your big lots like that. You have large driveways, long driveways, because they're deep. It's 200 deep.
Right.
So I believe in planning and zoning, accepted the 36 compromise. I believe it's sufficient to cover the needs of safety into this.
Is that a motion?
I make a motion.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. With the 36 foot?
36.
Okay, so any further discussion?
No discussion.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion
Thank you.
passes.
And I abstain.
Okay, one abstention. Commissioner Haddad. Item D.
D is consideration of a variance request to paving requirements on North 33rd Street at 3300 Freddie Gonzalez.
This item has been withdrawn by the developer.
Okay.
Withdraw?
Yes, sir.
All right, no action taken on that. So I go to 6, manager's report.
We've got the Immigration and Respite Center report.
Honorable Mayor Pro Tem and Commissioners, immigrant drop-off numbers from CBP and ICE have fluctuated over the last 6 weeks from a low of 285 on average 6 weeks ago to 2 weeks ago, where we had a high of 437 average per day. 6 weeks ago, the number was 1,992 for the week, and then our high 2 weeks ago was 3,058. I will say that the numbers have dropped off. Last week, our number was 2,078, and we have seen that number continue to drop a little bit over the last few days. So our average over the last 6 weeks, 342 per day. The last 2 weeks, that average was 367. Our COVID positivity was 5.7% over the last 6 weeks, and that's down to 5.2 over the last 2 weeks. We have a current population at Onsal Duas Park of between 200 and 300, with a capacity of 1,700 at the park. Happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions? All right, thank you very much. Future agenda items, anything to talk about or to add to the future agenda items? We have 2 so far, public arts and the Sherry Road expansion.
Yeah, I would like to see how the status on McAllen Shines, see how we're doing on that.
Okay. Anything else?
Maybe down the line, the traffic light study.
Oh, yeah. This came up with
an update.
a resident from District 3.
I'm not the traffic light, the street light.
So, okay, so street light, not signals.
No, not signals.
You're
But
talking
I
about
think he's talking
signals.
about
I was talking about
traffic.
signals.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, vote on that.
Sure, that'd be great.
Signal and.
Could be on the same
Okay.
workshop.
I'll check it out. Okay.
Anything else on future agenda items? If not, we go to item 7.
Excuse me, Mayor Pro Tem, with respect to item 7A1, I recommend that the City Commission consider a motion authorizing city manager and city attorney to negotiate the economic development agreement on the terms described in executive session, subject to final approval by the City Commission.
So moved. Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second.
You remind me, Ike, which one I've got to abstain from? 7A?
You're going to abstain from B.
7B, okay.
There's a motion and a second on this item. Any discussion? I'll take a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
Mayor Pro Tem, with respect to item 7A2, I recommend the City Commission consider 2 motions. One motion to approve amendments to the PUD as presented on the site plan presented by the developer.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Any discussion? Take a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
And Mayor Pro Tem, with respect to that item, I recommend the City Commission consider a second motion authorizing city manager and city attorney to negotiate the terms of the economic development, the amended terms of the economic development agreement previously approved by the City Commission on the amended terms described in executive session.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Take a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
Mayor Pro Tem, with respect to item 7A3, I recommend the City Commission consider a motion authorizing city manager and city attorney to negotiate the economic development agreement as described in executive session, and I need to rephrase that, to authorize the city manager and city attorney to negotiate amended terms to economic development agreement as described in executive session.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Any discussion? I'll take a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
Mayor Pro Tem, with respect to item 7B, which Commissioner Haddad is abstaining from and has filled out a conflicts affidavit, I recommend the City Commission consider a motion authorizing city manager and city attorney to negotiate and execute any and all documents necessary to convey the property on the terms as described in executive session.
So moved.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Any discussion? I'll take a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
Mayor Pro Tem, I have no more agenda items to offer you with respect to item 7.
All right. There was one abstention in the last item.
Right.
There being no further business, this meeting is adjourned.
Regular City Commission meetings are held on the second and fourth Monday of each month. Meetings are rebroadcast on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays on the McAllen Cable Network.